Hello, how y'all doing tonight? Welcome to another KBBU Behind the Scenes. We are so excited for you to be here today, tonight, in the morning, whenever you watch. Hashtag replay, okay? But we are Kingdom Builders Business University. If you're watching us for the first time, we are a business school. We are a business school that educates entrepreneurs from 5 figures to 6 and 7 and even 8-figure incomes. That's what we do. And we have a private session where we can do private sessions with you as a business owner, or we could do undergrad, which is our group class that we just finished every Wednesday during school term. And we just finished talking about tonight business funding. Hello. We've been talking about money. We've been talking about business credit. And tonight we talked about business funding. And we had a special guest, one of our very own coaches, Dr. Mary Hancock. Hey! It was so amazing. Let's go, Dr. Mary. Yes, 2 snaps in a circle. Hello, let's go. So that was so good. Listen, we talked about how we could get the grants. You explained everything from the rooter to the tutor. So let's talk about it for a little bit. Now, we ain't going to give them the bank, but let's talk about what you felt when you were teaching. What were the things that came to your mind while you were teaching tonight? Yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I think one thing is just making sure that the information your business is put together correctly the first time. Sometimes we want to get to the money, but can you just take a moment and make sure that it's in line so you can get the money, so that when you get the money, you don't have to retract, you can move forward. Because it's sometimes, like you say, and you got to know what to do with the money, and you got to know how to handle the money, because if you don't handle the money gonna handle you. So it has a spirit to it. So you got to know what to do, and you can't wait until you get it to know what to do. You really have to plan for this thing. And do what you say you're going to do so that you can be blessed with more. Because in kingdom, first of all, we talked about you're a steward of that thing. And you got to be a steward. And if you're not a steward, then who's to say the next time when you get it, you got to make sure you're going to be a steward and handle it right. All the relationships, all the business, everything that we have, we should be stewards of this thing so that we can graduate undergrad of KBBU and go to the master's class and then go to Dr. Tina so we can go to the next level and the next level and the next level. But a lot of times we ask for stuff that we're not totally prepared for. And if you get it before you prepare for it, now you overwhelmed, you overworked, you stretched out because you didn't properly prepare. So preparation is so important. It's so important.
My goodness, did y'all hear that? Did you hear that? Are you listening with your ears wide open? Okay, because she is telling the truth tonight. So many of us as entrepreneurs, we're out here and we're talking about we're gonna get this money, we're gonna get other people's money. But in order to position yourself for other people's money, do you have your stuff in order? And will you discipline yourself properly when it comes down to how you got to make sure that you ain't going to have to pay that money back? Because that's something we did not talk about, is if you get a grant and you don't do the right thing with it, then you will owe every single cent, every penny back to the people who gave it to you in the first place. Woo! Can you touch on that just for a second, Dr. Mary? Have you ever had that experience? I know you done had some experiences because you've been doing this over 30 plus years.
You got to make sure. That's why it's important. I tell people, if you're going to get a grant evaluator. Please get an evaluator. Just someone who's going to make sure that you're doing what you need to do, because the federal government will come for you. They will lock you up. And now you're in a different place because you don't qualify for all the things you did. But it's important. You got to make sure you have the proper people in place, and not just people just doing it so they can get paid, but people who know what they're doing.
Right.
You got to make sure that you have someone in place that's going to hold you accountable for what the organization said you should be accountable for. You should be able to produce those documents in a timely fashion, demonstrating how you have used the money and that you have used it according to the requirement for the organization that gave you that money. That's important.
It is so important. And I don't know what we be thinking about. We just gonna receive a whole lottery ticket of money in business. You know, how we think that we gonna do a scratch off and, oh my God, they gave me $500,000 and I can just go and do whatever I want to do with it. That's not how the game works. So that's what we're learning about at KBBU in our business funding class. And it was an amazing lesson tonight. And thank you so much, Dr. Mary. You did a phenomenal job, as some of the other coaches have said, and it is true. Okay. So listen, let's talk about, let's go to another coach. Dr. Tina, can you share a little something about what you took from tonight's class?
It was so much good information that Dr. Mary shared, and I'm trying not to say let me see, because it was so much good information. But I guess what I'll do, I'll piggyback and play it safe. I'll piggyback off the Dr. Mary, what she's talking about, having your stuff in order. Just like in the Bible, we have to count the cost, right? Jesus said count the cost. So in counting the cost, when you are going to try to obtain these business grants, you need to make sure you have everything in order. The thing is, do you know what order is? Ooh. People out here, we have businesses, but do you know the order of operation for the paperwork you need to have in order to qualify for the grants? And that is what set KBBU apart, because for me, I knew that grants exist, but for a large part of my time, I had ignorance on it, because I was thinking that grants was only for businesses that are nonprofits. That was just my preconceived notion. And so all these years I have been doing it myself, building services, building products, doing stuff in the community, people coming in and being a sponsor. Okay. It's more to do is doing that. And so this particular class, because most businesses are bootstrappers, and just to give you a little definition, that's just a person who's building out your products and services yourself and not getting any help from anyone else. But anywho, that was one thing I'm giving you. The rest of you got signed up for KBBU.
Say one.
That's one. Okay. But anyway, so coming to KBBU, I found out that you can get a grant, you know, even if you are a business for profit as well. And so most of it, if not all, is based down to how your foundation is built. And so what I would say that stood out to me with this class is, number one, seeing that everything I did in undergraduate class, I's dotted, T's crossed, it was exactly what I needed in order to qualify. How Michelle's curriculum is laid out. And number two, understanding the terminology. And number three, I needed encouragement to go and apply, because I didn't have the confidence. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have the confidence to go and apply, because I was afraid they was gonna say no. I didn't think anyone would say yes. And to my amazement, they said yes to different things, because I had my foundation straight. And KBBU helped me, you know, clean up, fix up what I need to fix, and clean what I need to clean in order to have the proper documentation to make my business fundable, or I would say businesses fundable. So what I got from Dr. Mary is that it was just confirmation for everything that we have already learned in KBBU. And then she came in and add her secret sauce on there, blowing my mind with all these different other things that I did not know about the government versus local. I was like, what? Looking in the wrong place. Like, I need to put my attention over here. So it was just, I can go on and on, because she blew my mind. It was absolutely amazing. And I have some work to do for me. And so the students, we both going to be working. We all going to be working on this one.
I know that's right. Yes, that whole part about, thank you, Dr. Tina. So that whole part about, the different tiers of where we can search for the grants. That's what we talked about tonight in class. So if you've been wondering about that as an entrepreneur, hey, we got the solution for you right here. So you can sign up right now for those private individual one-on-one sessions. And then in August, we can even transfer you on over into this undergraduate class that we're having right now. And this class will start in August on the 20th of 2025. So you can go ahead and start your pre-registration right now and then have that thing paid off by the time class starts. Because you got some time. What you waiting for? Okay? But I love that how you said, like, we looked at the different tiers. We're looking at where do we go for grants. We're looking at exactly, like the different places, not just to go, but what do they look for a grant? That's something that you talked about tonight, Dr. Mary. Okay, so that this has been really informative, but also exciting, and it's taking away all of the fears, like you're saying, Dr. Tina, from us hesitating on moving forward with what it is that belongs to us. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say about the whole matter. All right, who's up next? Can we have Coach Cornell? Can you go ahead and share what it is that you took away from tonight's class, Coach Cornell?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Doc, that was a good class. Great class. I'm still learning stuff, and even though I know I did put the majority of the stuff in for my grants and whatnot. I got a good feel on that now since you taught me that. I appreciate it. But Michelle said something tonight about making money for profit, and some don't even think about grants. They still do the bootstrapping. They just because they making money with bootstrapping, they ain't thinking about nothing else. You better go ahead and get that money. Go and get that money from them grants. That's extra money to help you with your business. That's extra money to get you that extra person in there that you need in your business. Now, when I tell you, when I filled out my paperwork, when I was trying to get certified in my grants, I went through a lot of trouble, and I'm gonna be honest. I went through a lot of trouble because I was new, and a lot of things that they was asking for I didn't have. But I made phone calls. When you talk to those folks directly, man, it's so much easier. Now you guys have been in business for 2-3 years. Hey, that's gonna make things a whole lot easier for you because that's what they need, and they need that info from the past 2-3 years. They want to see your taxes or whatnot. If you got that, make sure you got your paperwork where you need it, so you can give it to them. It'll make things much easier. But it was kind of tough on me. But thank goodness, I talked to Michelle. Michelle said, "You probably need to call them," and that's what I've been doing. And I tell you, things worked out a whole lot better for me. And I tell you, I was able to get all my certificates. So, hey, shouts out to you, Dr. Hancock. Hopefully, I'll be coming to you and Dr. Tina. Y'all doctors, y'all make me angels out there for me. Give me some of that free money y'all got. But I love y'all anyway.
So one of the things that Coach Cornell, thank you so much, he is talking about is in the class tonight, we learned the different tiers of funding. So y'all heard Dr. Tina give out one. You heard Coach Cornell is talking about, he's kind of hinting around what we talked about tonight as well. But did you know that there are 4 different tiers of how you can get funded? See, those are the kind of things that we learn at KBBU. And I know you want to know what it is. So go ahead to that website, www.kbbulllc.com, and make sure you click on that link that says Let's Talk so we can talk about how we can get you into the next private session and we can talk to you about how we can help you to get your business funded on 4 different levels. That's right, 4 different levels. That's what we're talking about here. That's it. That's it right there. And when it comes to our businesses, you know, we really got to understand that just having one way of doing anything is not the best way. Okay. Just having one way to earn money, we know that everybody talks about multiple streams of income. Am I right? So that's what we're talking about here tonight in business funding. You know, you got to understand that the only way for you to make money is not just through your organization. It is other multiple areas of how you can actually get your business funded, getting your brick and mortar. If you're looking for a brick and mortar, there are ways for you to have your business set up with your employees. Did y'all know that there are grants out there that pay for employees? I'm going to give y'all that one. But see, y'all don't know where to go and y'all don't know really all the details that you really need to know. Someone out there actually pays for your people to be staffed in your organization. That is crazy to me. They pay you the grant and they pay your organization rather the grant, and then they turn around and pay for the people who you need to hire. So that's why it's so important for you to get in KBBU so we can teach you all about your job duties. We can teach you about your hierarchy. We can teach you how to set up things in a way professionally that you wouldn't find anywhere else because ain't nobody else got time to tell you. Okay, that's why KBBU is here. All right, thank you, Coach Cornell. That was fire. Yes, yes. Come on, let's keep it rolling, Coach Doris. Let's go. Coach Doris in the
Yes,
house.
yes. Yeah. Oh, this is so good. This is awesome. And Dr. Mary, you did a wonderful job, amazing job. I was hearing things. I mean, when it comes to this avenue here, it's like I'm always a student just learning more. Like every time I hear um I he- I come I hear this discussion about grants, it's like just more and more information, and it's like thank God I am at the right place, because honestly, it's a whole avenue. And like what Michelle was saying, there's so many levels, there's so many things you have no ideas. We're literally sitting on money, like we're sitting on money. We're not really being that good steward, that faithful steward, because when I just realized this as well, that a good steward means understanding all your resources and knowing what you have. And that was the biggest eye opening tonight. For me, it was just within your local government, within your local state, the amount of information, the amount of resources, the things you have access to, so it's honestly, um, it's all about understanding you don't know everything. And especially when it comes to business, is a whole nother world. It's a whole nother language. So it's getting with people that have been there, that have done what you're looking to do and have achieved. And you really need to take advantage of that. And this is in KBBU is where it's at, honestly. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of information. And like Michelle was saying, like people don't even have time because they don't even know, right? They don't even know. They don't have time. People who write grants, they don't even understand some of these things that we're learning tonight, because all they're knowing is, what they hear, they learn from someone else, but they don't really understand in depth um how amazing this is and what you have access to, really. And especially, this is one of the things I realized about government. They won't tell you the system is set up for those who have done their research, who have been educated and know what they're doing. And just how you have already, Michelle, put together that script, I'm assuming from experience,
Yes.
because we got script tonight, guys. We got script,
Hey,
okay?
you got a script to
On
get
what
that
to
grant,
say.
baby.
On
Yes.
what to say. So when you walk up in there, it's like, no, I know my stuff. It's like being
Correct.
in the office, the Secretary of State in the office, and somebody, because majority, like what, 89% of the people don't know what they're doing. They're coming there and we know they don't know their stuff, you know. But you always have that one person that come in and like boom, boom, boom. You know, they have their stuff together and like, ooh, we have to say yes to you. Like, whoa, okay. That's how it works, guys. That's how it works. So understanding what you have and the things that you have access to means everything. It make life simple. Live life simple, okay? And just be willing to learn and invest in other people. That's what the kingdom is all about. Investing in other people so that they can invest in you as well. That's the whole purpose, you know, about is part of management. So that's all I got to say.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Coach Doris. That was very powerful. Thank you so much. You know, I was thinking about as you were talking, so one of the things that we talked about tonight, I'm not going to give the specific terms, but I'll say this much. Are you a business out here who has kept up with your amount of people who you have helped in a particular section of your business? Have you actually, do you know that if you're out here helping teenagers, do you know how many teenagers you have helped? If you are out here helping domestic violence situations, how many different communities have you impacted? You know, what are the things that you are doing that you don't realize that could have been put into a business plan with a letter and submitted for a grant so that you can have your whole organization funded? Like, these are the kind of things that we are discussing. We're looking at the actual solution that you have solved. We're looking at the actual things that you have done numerically. How many people have you actually helped and impacted and made a change? All the time, I see us as business owners where we are out here and we're doing our thing. We're passionate about what it is that we do, but many of us are not keeping up with what we're actually doing. We're not keeping up with the number or the community or the industry and making comparisons among one another to see, not necessarily that we want to compete or compare against anybody else, but we do have to be conscious of what other people are doing versus what we are doing ourselves as business owners. And that in itself is the ability to give you access for a grant, not just a grant, but multiple grants. Okay. So that's something that we need to consider as business owners. We need to really begin to stop and think about, like, what am I doing? I'm out here helping people all the time. I love to help people. I'm always, you know, giving the shirt off my back. I'm always going the extra mile. I'm always doing this extra stuff. But no, you think nobody's looking? Well, if you put that on paper, then there's an opportunity once you come into that private one-on-one session for you to go through KBBU. There's an opportunity for you to be able to go to Dr. Mary and get that grant written, multiple grants written. Okay. So we got to understand, guys, that it's not just one way. Even if we learn that way. And I like what one of y'all said just now about how, you know, you learn as a grant writer. Some of the grant writers out here are learning things that here in KBBU that they have never ever learned before. So it's not always one way. And I want us to get out of our head that it's just one simple way that we can earn a living, that we can earn money as business owner, or it's just one simple way. Like, I've been doing this hustle for 20, 30 years and I'm still helping people. I'm making changes, but I don't have the resources. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the things that I need in order for me to keep going. We have the solution for you. Y'all see the website, you see the number. Go ahead and hit us up tomorrow morning. Don't do it tonight because we ain't nobody answering tonight. We going to bed after this. Hello. But for real, take this seriously because this is your livelihood. You know, a lot of people transition from being on the job, but then coming from the job and going to business ownership. That has to be a mindset change. It has to be a shift in what it is that you're thinking about on how you're going to continue your living. How is it that you're going to continue to be and do the things that you have been called to do? And then who is documenting that information? Who is actually there documenting it? Okay. Are you writing stuff down? Are you creating letters? Are you creating a business plan? Are you creating or understanding how the whole application of the grant works? Okay, I'm gonna stop because I'm ready to teach again. All right, go ahead, Coach Preston. Let's hear your feedback from tonight's class.
Give me that 5, boy.
What the world?
Dr. Mary, that class was excellent. And you talking about the ways to support your endeavors. You left one out. You said bootstrap, and I got one for you called a penny loafer. That's where I'm at right now.
Not the penny loafer. No, you ain't. You ain't no penny loafer.
Yes, but Doris, you said something that piqued my interest too. Like, there's a pattern to all the things that are happening. And I was laughing when you said that, Doris, because I saw a small excerpt. The guy saw the Rubik's Cube in 8 steps, but he had a pattern, right? When you say like the grants and all the processes, like what you said, Michelle, that's a part of the pattern, knowing what to say and knowing how to say it, knowing when to say it, and finding the right person to say it to, who to say it to, right?
That part.
Yeah. You ain't don't go throw your business plan to the janitor. He means well, but that's not his purpose. We talked about that earlier, right? You know, we did. You talked about that in class. You said, you know, don't present your plan to the wrong person. Not in a bad way. That's an endorse, like you said. That's where the research comes in, you know. Like, go to these places, even if you're not going, go to these places just to see where they at. Ask a question. Go ask the question. I've done this a lot of times. You go out, that's Cornell, our military terms, we go recon, right? You go look around. Walk in there, sit down for a minute, see how they operate. See who having the bad hair day. See, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to her. You know, it's I'm telling y'all the truth. See, y'all talk about the technical side of it. I'm giving the practical application side of it. When you come to KBBU, this is what you're going to get, all right? We have experts from every aspect of the business realm, okay? You can hear all the technical nuances, all the how-tos, but if you don't have that savvy to go in there and get it, you know, that's where I come in. I'll show you how to do that. I'll even go with you. I'll hold your hand. I don't care. You know, I'll be back there cheering you on. You can do it. But this is what we do at KBBU, okay? We bring everything to the forefront, all the experts, all the knowledge, all the skills, all the real world experience. Cornell, Doris, Dr. Tina, Dr. Mary, we all have that real world experience, and we're here to present that to you. So you don't have to go in there and reinvent the wheel. See, you don't wear no penny loafers like me. Put them boots on, right?
Thank you, Preston. So we're always going to get a laugh from him. Always. So I like what you were saying about the fact that we need to get outside of our regular old environment. You know, the people that we normally hang around and they broke, busted, and disgusted like us. Okay. Now, not me. I ain't gonna claim that for my life. Let me just correct my words because the words say ain't no idle words. So let me correct that. I am not broke, busted, and disgusted. I am wealthy. I am blessed. I am abundantly blessed. Okay. Let me go ahead and clarify that out loud in public. Okay. Anyway. But what I'm saying is that many of us as business owners, We like to be around the same people all the time, and you become a product of your environment. So as a business owner, you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone, like Coach Preston was saying. You're going to have to be able to go in places where maybe it's not a familiar group of people that you're used to being around. And you're going to have to learn how to have a conversation. You're going to have to learn how to peep out your environment. You're going to have to figure out, okay, like you said, go talk to the receptionist, go, she'll tell you everything because she know everybody anyway. And she know what's going on in the offices as is. So if that would be the perfect person for you to go and talk to first, at least so that you can familiarize yourself with that particular office, especially if you are talking about your local government officials, if you're talking about people who you are going to engage grant writing or grants with, you need to know how it is that they think. You need to, as Preston said, look at the patterns, look at the environment. How do they think? What are they thinking about? And who would they want to give the money to? You got to make sure that you're going to be that person that they want to give that money to. And in order to do that, you got to familiarize yourself with something more than just what you know right now. And those are the kind of things that we talk about in the VIP Masters class, which is our third class that we have for entrepreneurs from all over the world. And we're talking about the 6 and 7 figure earners now, that after you graduate from the undergraduate class, you get to extend your education in the VIP Masters class. And if you saw us on earlier this week, the difference between having somebody after you come through the undergraduate class versus not having somebody in our Where Are They Now? We do a series called Where Are They Now? So we look at the students from way back when and when they first started to where they are now. And we just did an interview with Mr. Aubrey Wise on Tuesday. And he said that when he disconnected, he had made it to 6 figures, but when he disconnected, he dropped down to back to 5 figures again. So you got to understand that your environment, if you don't step outside of your comfort zone, if you don't decide that you're going to go to unfamiliar territory, then that is going to be a problem for you going forward in your business. Do you want to really leave a legacy? If so, it's going to be a lot of things that you may not want to do, and it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be an uncomfortable environment sometimes until you get used to it, and then you'll be fine. So that's why I want to leave with you guys. Like, go ahead and take the risk, because that's what life is all about. You got to take the risk in order for you to know and in order for you to grow. All right. Is there anybody else that got anything that they want to say before we close out tonight? All right. If not,
We're taking the risk. I'm gonna take the risk. When it comes to grant, it's like, ooh, but no, yeah. After tonight, you guys have yes, yeah. So I'm excited.
Let's do it.
I just wanted to say that was the most thorough grant class I have ever experienced. Woo! I just want to put that on record. And I've been in a lot of classes. I lean in. A lot of classes. Dr. Mary, you did a fantastic job. Yeah. I have to go back and watch this video because I mean, whoo, yes. But we're going to go get that money. Yeah, I broke my grammar for that. We're going to go get that money.
Dara say we taking the risk, honey. And yes, we are. We are taking the risk. Will you take that risk today? Woo!
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
Try to make this quick as possible. I seen a post today, and this guy, he got out of his truck. He went to the side of the house and he started crying. Now, I sent it out to you guys. I don't know if y'all seen it. He started crying, and his neighbor's like, "What's wrong?" He said, "I'm tired of working." And I put on the post, I said, somebody need to introduce him to Michelle Green so he can have his own business. He was crying his behind off, and it was real. He said he's tired of working all the time.
Oh,
You guys out there, if you got something in your mind that you want to do and make a change, you need to come talk to Michelle. I'm telling you, it'll be the best thing that ever happened to you. I'm just saying.
oh, I appreciate that, Coach Cornell. Let's go. With that being said, listen, thank each and every one of you. Again, Dr. Mary, amazing job, like everyone is saying. I mean, awesome, phenomenal, in spite of what we know on the back end, okay? You still, we couldn't tell. We could not tell what was going on. Okay. But yes, you did an amazing job. Thank you all for watching us. And if you are interested again in learning more about your business and how you're supposed to structure it, how you can get funded. Also, we're going to be talking about in the future how to manage your company with systems, with different automations. We're going to be talking about AI. We're going to be discussing marketing, media, and sales. So those are the things that you'll learn, which is everything that there is to learn about being a business owner and being successful in your industry, no matter what industry that is. But I want to thank you all for watching. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the KB Michelle Green YouTube channel that is powered by CTR Media. Thank you for watching, and set your notifications after you subscribe to make sure that you never ever miss an episode with KB Michelle Green and the KBBU team. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed night tonight. See you next time. Bye-bye.